All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. Talent hits a target no one else can hit, genius hits a target no one else can see. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Each day is a little life, every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Money is human happiness in the abstract. He, then, who is no longer capable of enjoying human happiness in the concrete devotes himself utterly to money. Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. They tell us that suicide is the greatest piece of cowardice. That suicide is wrong, when it is quite obvious that there is nothing in the world to which every man has a more unassailable title than to his own life and person. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Satisfaction consists in freedom from pain, which is the positive element of life. I've never known any trouble than an hour's reading didn't assuage. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance things present and which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. Wealth is like seawater, the more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. Great men are like he-eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. With people of limited ability modesty is merely honesty. But with those who possess great talent it is hypocrisy. After your death you will be what you were before your birth. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. Every parting gives a foretaste of death, every reunion a hint of the resurrection. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain, and it is only with the highest degree of intelligence that suffering reaches its supreme point. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. Buying books would be a good thing if one could also buy the time to read them in, but as a rule the purchase of books is mistaken for the appropriation of their contents. The wise have always said the same things, and fools, who are the majority, have always done just the opposite. Reading is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. Honor means that a man is not exceptional, fame, that he is. Fame is something which must be won, honor, only something which must not be lost. Suffering by nature or chance never seems so painful as suffering inflicted on us by the arbitrary will of another. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Great minds are related to the brief span of time during which they live as great buildings are to a little square in which they stand. You cannot see them in all their magnitude because you are standing too close to them. It is in the treatment of trifles that a person shows what they are. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. If we were not all so interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. Journalists are like dogs, whenever anything moves they begin to bark. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death, and the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed.